Yeah. Miss Basquette, do you have any memories of Al Jolson at all?
Yeah. Well, I was instrumental in Al Jolson getting the part.
To tell me that story. How did that happen?
Well, they had at the time, Warner Brothers had under contract George Jessel.
Yes.
And at that time, there was a fellow on then there was Harry Richmond, who was on the boards in those days around New York.
Right.
And there was also, I'm trying to think of his name, a very attractive singer. Never became a big star, but he was pretty big on the stage. Anyhow, I can't remember his name right now. And also there was Georgie Price.
Yes.
All these men that all were being considered. Well, of course, Jack and Harry and Abe Warner thought, well, we'll put George Jessel in because, see, it had been originally a George Jessel stage play.
Yes.
And George Jessel, as I say, was under contract. He was not terribly successful. His pictures were not selling too well. But they thought, well, we've got him under contract, and he was the original one in the play. We'll put him in the film. And I said to, at 18, I was pretty outspoken. I haven't changed too much. I said to Sam, you don't want George Jessel in that part. He's got a lot of singing to do. And I said, I think the ideal person would be Jolson. And right away, the brothers all said, Jolson wants too much money. He got $75,000 for that part, which, of course, sounds ridiculous today.
Yes.
But that was big, big money.
Oh, boy.
And anyhow, I kept insisting that Jolson should get it. And then Sophie Tucker wanted Harry Richmond. I remember we visited her backstage at a show. And she wanted Harry Richmond in the part.
Yes.
And I said to Sam, well, Harry Richmond is attractive and all that, but he's too egotistical. He hasn't got the warmth. Anyhow, I was responsible for Jolson getting the part. However, I never really cared about Jolson as a human being. I liked him as a performer.
Yes.
He was a great performer, and he was, of course, turned out he was excellent in that part.
Yes, yes. What didn't you like about Jolson as a human being, Miss?
Well, I've never particularly liked actors, and I have never particularly liked, show-offy stage people.
Yes.
And instinctively, I've never cared too much for men who thought they were God's gift to womanhood and came on strong.
Yes. Now, was he married to Was he married to Ruby Keeler at the time?
Oh, no, it was later.
That was later. Yes.
I think he was married to her during the Jazz Singer, yes.
And
I had, of course, knew Ruby years before when she was the girlfriend of one of the gangsters in New York, and she worked at Texas Gun
yes.
Club, and Jolson came on the scene and made a play for her, and he's very lucky he didn't get taken for a ride. Somehow or other he got out of it without getting bumped off, and then she went on. She left the gangster and went on to Hollywood, and then eventually they married.
Mary Jolson, yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess she was married to him during the Jazz Singer, or just after it. I can't remember now.
Now, were you and Sam and the Warners surprised at what a big hit the Jazz Singer was?
Oh, Sam was dead.
Oh, so that's right. Sam had died.
Sam died 2 days before it opened in
Oh,
New York.
for heaven's sakes. And were you surprised about the big hit it was, Miss Basquette?
Well, at the time, I couldn't have cared less about the Jazz Singer. I was, I just lost my husband.
That's right, yes.
I was having problems with the family. And
right, yes.
I ended up with, that's why I continued to work. I had to continue to work. As a matter of fact, I was working on a film called Serenade with Adolphe Menjou when Sam died.
When Sam died, yes. What did Sam Warner die? What did he die of, Miss Basquette?
Terrible hemorrhage.
Because he'd
had a chronic sinus condition.
Yes.
Where there was a great deal of infection through his head, and he had terrible sinus headaches and migraine headaches and things like that. And eventually, he went into the hospital to have some teeth extracted. The doctors at that time thought that was what was causing all this infection. And they got him in the hospital. They kept finding more and more was wrong, and eventually, about the fourth operation, he died of a cerebral hemorrhage. I suppose today, with some of the more advanced medical studies,
they could have saved him.
He was only, he was 40. He was 42 when he died.
That's a very young man, Miss Basquette.
Well, yes, he certainly would be considered that today.
Yeah, terrible, just terrible.